Yo, can you imagine your entire self-love journey just being boiled down to just these 3 categories? These 3 categories are it if you're trying to kickstart your self-love journey. If you've been feeling unmotivated lately, if you've been feeling lazy, if you've been procrastinating, if you haven't feel so hot about yourself, you don't feel confident, you have self-doubt, and you want to just break out of that rut, that phase, that just icky feeling, and you want to kickstart your self-love journey, these are the only 3 things you need to know about. And this is inspired by the book Lighter by Pueblo. Love his book, and this is just the first chapter, guys. I believe one of the first chapters he talks about self-love. What are the 3 pillars to self-love? The first pillar of self-love is radical honesty. In the book, it doesn't necessarily say like step 1, 2, 3, but personally for me, this is the first step. You shouldn't go into the second step before you do this one. So being honest with yourself is super important. Radical honesty means being truthful to yourself. In the book, he says we cannot truly love ourselves if we are not honest with ourselves. You cannot love yourself if you're not honest with yourself. Like, think about it, right? If you're not honest with your partner, how can you love your partner, right? So if you want true love, if you want to grow, if you want to really truly love yourself, you have to be honest with yourself first. And that was like a wake-up call for me. I remember one time when I was in a phase where I was not super happy, but then I would lie to myself. I would fake it and, kind of show that I was super happy and super confident. But internally, I know I wasn't 100% truthful to myself because I was just faking the happiness even to myself, all of us have that phase where, you are not feeling super happy or hot, but then you kind of show on social media or show to other people that you're doing fine. That's not fine. That's not being honest to yourself, not being honest to others, but most importantly yourself. So people have New Year's resolution, but I have birthday resolution. I don't know about you guys. So I had that birthday resolution where I was like, I'm gonna change. So April onwards, April, May, June was when I was like fully focused on my growth. And I'm gonna show you a screenshot of like my fasting journey, my weight loss journey. Everything started in April because I made a birthday resolution to myself. It was an exercise trying to be honest with yourself. But trust me, it's like a muscle. Once you're good at it, you will keep going, right? Which brings me to the next point. Pillar number 2 is positive habit building, which is also step number 2 for me. Once you're honest with yourself, then you can move on to the next step, which is building positive habits. For me, that's also paired with discipline. So positive habit building is, in a way, building discipline. What this means is you build habits that make you happy. You build habits that make you the best version of yourself. Young Playboy says in his book Lighter that our daily routines can either lead us closer to self-love or further away. Doing things that I know make me happy. For example, waking up early in the morning, meditate, doing yoga first thing in the morning. Sometimes I don't do yoga, but the one thing that I'll always do is make my bed and then hit the gym and get my 5K steps in. Every single day, I try to get 5K steps in no matter what. I'll go to the gym even though I don't feel like, doing yoga, or even though I don't feel like lifting or running, I will still get my steps in. I'll walk on the treadmill, read a book, read on my Kindle, or I will scroll on TikTok. But if I do that, my reward is that I'm getting that 5K steps in, right? So that's the one commitment I had to myself since like March. And for me, keeping that habit makes me happy and makes me keep promises to myself. And then things just compound from there. My day gets better and then I'm more productive, yada, yada. So think of what habits make you feel happy, make you feel positive, and then write those down and keep a few commitments to yourself every single day, right? For me, for example, is walking 5K steps, drinking this bottle, 3 of them. So hydrate yourself. Number 3, maybe journaling. Can you journal every day? Super simple. I use 5-minute journal. I talk about this a lot. Super easy to journal with it because it gives you the prompts. If you can just keep these 3 habits, maybe the 4th one is meditation or doing yoga, a few of these habits, and that's it. And then do that every single day because it it compounds that positive effect on you. That's the second pillar and step 2 of self-love, positive habit building. Number 3 and step 3 is unconditional self-acceptance. Now, after you're honest to yourself, you build positive habits, the third thing is that you have to accept yourself no matter what. You have to be compassionate with yourself. This is something that I'm terrible at because I'm the worst to myself. I always beat myself down. I'm the harshest on myself, but I have to always remind myself to be kind to myself. It doesn't matter if everyone else is kind to you, but if you're not kind to yourself, you are gonna suffer the most from that, because you being unkind to yourself is like 100 people, maybe 1,000 people being unkind to you. Being unkind to myself is kind of like my natural habit. I've had this for so long and I'm trying to heal it, but now my first step is to just catch it first. When I'm catching myself being unkind to myself, I'm able to reverse that effect within 60 seconds. So make sure you catch it, right? We're humans, we always feel, unkind to ourselves the most, we are our biggest critic, but remember, just to catch it and reverse that effect, right? I was traveling last week for work, and when I'm traveling, I don't stick to my habits, right? So I lose the second pillar of self-love, which is the positive habit building. I don't really read every single day. I don't get my 5K steps in. Maybe I do get more because I'm working, but I'm not in my usual routine anymore. So that's where your self-acceptance comes in. When I came back home from my trip, I actually got sick, and I was so demotivated. I was feeling sick. I was in bed constantly and I didn't feel like doing anything. I was so unproductive. But at the same time, I was so harsh with myself. Even though I was sick, isn't that crazy? I wouldn't say that to anyone else. If anyone else was sick, I'll be like, oh my God, rest, take care. But for me, I'm like, no, you should be doing stuff, or no, you should be more productive even though you're sick. So I remember I had to really remind myself to rest, because if I don't rest properly, then it's a waste of my time too, because I'm not productive, plus I'm not resting, I'm just being stressed. So I really gave myself compassion and kindness, and I rested. For me, it's really hard. I'm not sure about you guys, but it's really hard for me to rest and relax without feeling guilty, but I really try to do that. So that's why number 3, unconditional self-acceptance is so important, because you have to be okay with taking a break sometimes. You have to give yourself grace and kindness, because you're all you have. Just be kind to yourself, yo. Why are you so mean to yourself? Remember these 3 things and then you're solid, your goal. Every day, just if you can write down what are these 3 things that you did during the day or during the week, that would be a good thing to journal. Radical honesty. How are you honest with yourself this week? Number 2 is positive habit building. What kind of positive habits did you build and maintain this week? And number 3 is unconditional self-acceptance. How kind were you to yourself this week? What compassionate thing did you do for yourself this week? Right? So take care. I hope you enjoy these tips, because this really, really helped me. And I cannot wait to finish the rest of the book later. I couldn't finish it. I had to just talk about just this chapter first because it was so profound to me already. So I cannot wait to finish the rest of the book. So see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like or a thumbs up or whatever, because I really love talking about this stuff and I want to continue doing it. Thank you. Bye.